Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be rating a Venti listener by me. So let's get into it. Venti had no idea that you'd be asking him to come to your place today. And that alone was a surprise in and of itself. But it was not a bad surprise. It was a good one. Just a surprise. And as much as he liked surprises, it meant that you would have to sort things out just to be able to come as you wanted. He did not want to disappoint you or make you sad, and that's why he tried his best to come as quickly as possible and try not to disturb others who were waiting for him that day. They surely could wait for one more day, even if it was a little bit too late to tell them that. But hey, you are his priority, and he was not known for being so punctual, so it would be alright. And that's why he went to your place with no hesitation, except maybe for being a couple minutes late, which you were perfectly fine with, because, as said, he was not really known for his punctuality. So, with that said, he did come to your home, and you were more than happy with his presence. The two of you just went on about your day, as you would usually. Ate together and rested some little bit, and cuddled and rested some more, because there was nothing productive that you would do. Not really. But then you told him that you wanted to go out. On a picnic. He did not mind picnics. He loved them. But that was also something that he was not actually preparing to do. He was more fond of lazing around and staying at home. But then again, the two of you have not done that for a while now. So why would he object? Alright then. I guess there's no harm in doing so, Leon. I'm glad you agree, Venti. I even got things prepared. I made some food and I got my dress ready. A dress? He tilts his head. He didn't think you'd actually put so much thought into this, but it was adorable, and he was more eager to go now, seeing that you were so excited and so prepared. Maybe it was a surprise as well. Maybe you were going somewhere with this. He had no idea. But he was in no rush to find out. He wanted things to go at their own pace, and he was more than happy with the direction that the day was taking him in, or rather you took him in today. So as he followed you around, and the two of you sat on the hill, getting your things down, and as you laid out the blanket to put the things on, because you could not find anything else that was in your house that could be used for this. It was a very old blanket, and Venti was fond of taking it for picnics. It had a long history in doing this, and you were a very nostalgic person. But that aside, you were focusing on something, a rather unusual sight. There seemed to be 1, 2, 3 people gathering somewhere. Actually, there were 4. And they seemed to be talking. They seemed to be having a picnic of their own, just a couple meters away. And he looked at them for a little bit, but he did not pay them much mind, even though they were wearing very unique clothes, unlike what most people wore, and they seemed to be from very different places. No correlation between them at all, which is not something that was required when someone was befriending someone else, but it would be expected if they were living in the same place. It was very weird, but interesting to watch. And that's when Vinci noticed that something had caught your eye. What are you looking at, Wayan? He asked, but he seemed to be deep in thought. And that's when he looked back to see where you were looking at, only to find them. Those people, those 4, whom he knew very well, because according to his reaction, he was rather surprised. Wait, what brought them here? he asked, and you turned towards him, tilting your head. You know these people? Are they from Mondstadt? I've not seen them here before. You seem to know them, though. So, what's their story? You're very weirded out by all of this, but very intrigued. When Venti just shakes his head quickly. Well, it's of no importance, Ryan. I'm sure you're quite eager to eat those apples, though, right? They're very yummy. How about you actually get to it now? He says, trying to direct the conversation somewhere else entirely, but you were no idiot, and no fool, and you could see where this was heading. And amidst the two of you conversing, it seems that the other party has noticed you as well. Bao looked at Chun-Li, and she could see Venti. She really did not like that archon. Really. It was silly, and quite confusing. And the two of them did not get along very well. Not that they fought. She just could not really understand him at all. And so, after some wondering amongst themselves, they came towards you. All four. Two of them seemed to be quiet, although they had very different temperaments and were very short. But the man and the lady beside him, they were quite intimidating, and you could almost cower. But one of them seemed more welcoming than the other. The guy, Chong-Li, as Venti greeted him, he seemed to be more interested in what was going on between you and him. So, Venti, I had no idea that you had a date. You didn't tell us. I assume that he did not tell us anything at all. Rex Lapis, the lady beside him said, and Venti just chuckled nervously. Oh, from the vibe that you were getting, they seemed to be old friends. But Farina, as she had introduced herself, she seemed to be very entertained. While Nahida seemed to be more observant, quiet, and just giving you a shy wave. So, Wayan, those people, they are the other archons. They are what? You look at them, then at Venti again, surprised. But he just smiles, and he looks a little bit nervous. They seem to be rather weirded out by the situation. At least the other three. But Farina's laughing. She thinks this is very entertaining, and you have no idea what she's just doing here. But they seem to be all enjoying your misery and your embarrassment. But all in all, they did join your picnic, and although they had a lot of questions for Venti, and a lot of them were about you, and a lot of them were some things you did not understand at all, it was a rather enjoyable date, if an embarrassing one at first. And most importantly, Karina seemed to be quite one, even if a little bit crazy in the head. And Nahida was sweet. The only one that you were not able to truly understand was the Shogun. She was something. And Holly was a chatterbox. But that seemed to be accurate to what Vinci had told you about him. And it was a very peculiar date, but a memorable one no less.